Proverbs 29 and 1, yeah? You ready? Filming now, yeah?
Filming.
Okay. You get that one first. Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 1.
Yep.
He that being often reproved, hardeneth his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed.
That's it. You niggas being stubborn and rebellious, you're going to be destroyed, man. See?
And that without remedy.
That's it. No, hey, there's going to come a time in Jacob's trouble, you're not going to be able to bury your relatives, man. Alright? See?
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Now, some people are rejoicing here, but they're probably on drugs, man.
Yep.
Alcohol, anything to get them a little buzz. Alright, continue.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
There you go, man. Like them Syrians, they're mourning. We're mourning that over here, man. Alright? How many Jakes have been killed since the start of the year? Loads, man. But that's just the Lord sifting the house of Israel, man.
Psalm 60 and 1. Arise, shine, for the light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee. Verse 2, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
That's it.
But Yahweh shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
That's right. And when you look at our people, man, they're just spiritually dead. They're in gross darkness, man. And they don't listen to their own people, man. Alright? So at the end of the day, what can you do with someone like that? You put them to death. That's the remedy, man. You know that?
Verse 3, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising.
And those Gentiles are our people, man, Israelites, man, who are scattered. Alright? Even back then. Get James 1:1 quickly.
Verse 4, lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side.
And when you look at our people, alright, what's coming around the corner, we can't even get an opportunity to warn them because they're so, they're arguing and being rebellious and so forth. They don't have, social skills.
Yeah.
They don't know how to approach people. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Verse 5.
Yep.
Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
There you go. So all these Israelites that don't know they're Israelites, Israelite foreigners, listen, man, if they're part of that elect, when that 1/3, the Lord's going to be with them. If they're not, the Lord's going to put them to death. It's a simple equation, man. Like I said, there's two doors, life and death. Not door number 8, 9, 10, man. Which you niggas love, man. You ain't got no options. You either get right with the Heavenly Father, or you die, man. Okay?
Yeah, brother, read that precept again.
The last one.
Yeah. Isaiah, yeah.
Isaiah 60 and 4. Lift up thine eyes round about and see all they gather themselves together.
Yeah, that's talking about when all of the other nations are converted unto us, the slaves.
Yeah.
Okay? And basically, man, the people that's going to really partake in that are those that put their lives on the line for the Lord on this side.
Right.
Okay? So that's what that's going into, brother. You know what I mean? Anyway, you got it.
You know what? A lot of our people, they don't even, They don't even consider that, everything's coming towards the end. They don't know history, but history's repeating itself. Because the way this place is falling is the way the Romans fell, man. It's exactly the same way,
Yeah.
It's James 1:1, yeah?
Yeah, James 1:1. So they like to get stupid, man. Like the Bible dictionary said, Gentiles usually means non-Israelites. Usually, man.
The book of James chapter 1 verse 1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings.
Look how long ago this was. And we were scattered back then. So then you add to the fact that, we've had a transatlantic slave trade, Arab slave trade, there's going to be Israelites everywhere. And they're not all going to look like us. See?
My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
That's it. But remember, that scripture earlier, it says what? The righteous man falls 7 times, right? You got to keep going up, man. Like in boxing, a boxer gets knocked down, but he's trying to get up. That's what we have to do, man. Alright? Get knocked, punch in the jaw, and you're drowsy, but you got to get up and fight, man. Alright, go on.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
That's it, and the word patience means to suffer. Believe me, man. All the brothers here, some way, shape or form. Alright? I'm talking about them because the 2/3 we don't care about. Alright? We're concerned of the righteous. But every one of us is going through hell, man. Alright? Diverse and everything, but at the end of the day, we have to have that faith, man. Alright? We got that? Hebrews 11:1, yeah? See?
But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally.
Hey, that's like it. You know what that reminds me of? We had that sit down, and that scripture came out, and I said, listen, if you don't get the truth now, pray for wisdom. Not mentioning any names. Another guy in our group went, he goes, if you can't get it, go to hell. He was all arrogant. But guess what? He's in hell now, man. He's bugged out of his mind, man. He's bugged. Not bugged out, he's bugged. I'm telling you, man. That's how scary this thing is. But you know what? It's the sifting process. Any more?
I'll read that last verse again.
Okay, go on.
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally.
There you go,
and
man.
upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
See, the Lord knows, and he does it in his own time, man.
Right.
Okay? I never told you to get anything now. Alright, this I hand it over there. Just one more and I hand it over there.
Right, this is Hebrews 11:1.
Yep.
Now faith is the substance of all things hoped for,
Yep.
the evidence of things not seen.
Yep.
For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
That's why this cracker can't understand this, because it's a spiritual book, man. He needs scientific DNA tests, all that. All we have is prophecy, man. The Bible and the brotherhood. But most of all, we've got Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Alright? Really? It's not really now, is it?
Yeah, give me that.
Still waiting.
Yeah. I'm gonna send it around.
Oh, sorry. Right, you hold it. I know. It's like it's
Don't give him any umbrellas.
Next time. Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. Like the brother was going into, on how you have the 2/3 of our own people. They don't want to accept this, but we all understand why they don't want to accept it, man. We just gotta let them play their lot, and their lot is just to pretty much be, the degenerates that they really are. That the Most High set them up to be. Because overall, the Most High, He's gonna have mercy on the whole nation. Overall, but on this side, because they don't want to repent and come back to the Lord, they're gonna receive the recompense of their error. And that goes with everybody out here, man. All we're out here to do is just to give the message, and whoever hearkens to the message, hearkens to the message. Whoever don't. That's it. And everyone's going to receive their little consequence at the end of it all, when it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? But what we're going to go into right now is the book of Acts, the 10th chapter. And the reason why I want to go into this chapter here concerning Cornelius, because I was watching this video that Bull Captain was doing. He had this guy LaRon, whatever his LaRon J or some shit like that. some coconut headed coon.
G-consciousness?
What's that, brother?
G-consciousness, I think his name is.
So I mean,
Vocab
it was
and-
LeBron. It was LeBron James.
Alright,
LeBron James,
alright.
the guy with the braids. Some shit like that. His name was. Yeah. So he was talking about how how Apostle Hall was wrong when he said that James, what is it, the 15th chapter, Acts the 15th chapter, where it says that James was stating on how he was going to return and build back the desolate places. Okay, or should I say the tabernacle of David? Excuse me, the tabernacle of David, and I will return to rebuild the tabernacle of David. So James was going off on that, but I want to deal with Acts the 10th chapter because he said, well, it's obvious that Cornelius was an actual Gentile, but he wasn't. Okay, so get Acts the chapter, the 10th chapter, and then also what is you call? Oh, okay, yeah. All right, yeah. No, I'll tell you what. You get that chapter, and then also get Joel, the 2nd chapter afterwards.
Acts.
You pull it up a bit, brother. No, I'm done. You pull it up a bit. There you go. I'll tell you what. I hold it.
You better drink in your phone.
Yeah.
Right, this is Acts chapter 10, starting at 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band,
Right.
a devout man, and one that feared Yahweh with all his house.
I'll tell you what. Go get Acts the 2nd chapter. Read Acts 2 and 5. Because it says that Cornelius was a devout man, right? So according to Acts 2 and 5, you're going to read this.
This is Acts 2 and 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews,
Right.
devout men out of every nation
Out of
under
every
heaven.
nation under heaven, because they were scattered out of every nation under heaven. So they were devout men. They were men that believed in Yahweh Shah, that believed in the resurrection doctrine. And Cornelius was one of those men. So now we're going to jump back to Acts 10 now.
Right, Acts 10, starting at 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
Right, because you had Israelites that were a part of the military. Like for example, right now you got the same thing now. You got Israelites or so-called Negroes or Latinos and Native American Indians that are part of the military structure. Okay, of this society. So you had the same thing right there. Because what was the capital of Italy at the time, and it still is to this day, Rome. Okay, so he was a part of the Roman system. He forgot who he was, and he became Romanized. All right, or you could say Hellenized, because you had a group of Jews that were scattered outside of their land, but they knew they were Israelites, and you had those that didn't know they were Israelites, and then you had a group of Israelites that always remained in the land of Jerusalem. Okay, but we're dealing with the Hellenized, and that's Cornelius. Go on.
Verse 2, a devout man and one that feared Yahweh with all his house.
Right, and the devout man, a man that feared Yahweh in all of his house. So that's the trait of an Israelite, because an average Edomite, an average, Joe Peckerwood Edomite is not going to fear the Lord. That's not possible. Okay, and we deal with people every single week. So if anything, we know the spirit of Esau. We also know the spirit of Jake, man. Okay, we know what's going out in terms of the spirit of the people. But you got these guys out there like Vocab and LeBron J or G or whatever them Negroes, whatever their names is, man. Okay, which Vocab alone, he ain't really he ain't no Negro. He's a possible Edomite. Okay, and he's hoping like hell that he could get away for the salvation. Because I know in the back of his mind, man, and these guys, I know in the back of their minds, they must think and believe, they must think and know, based on right now, that we got the truth. Because all of this time they spend trying to deconstruct what we're saying, you can't deconstruct it. And the reason why you can't deconstruct what we're saying, because what we're saying is the truth, man. Okay, get me that, and get 2nd Ezra, I believe it's 7 and 17, where it says, sanctify them through thy truth, thy word is true. You can't destroy that which is the truth, man. No matter how long you do a video in terms of, speaking up against what we're saying, or trying to counterattack what we're saying. You cannot counterattack what we're saying. Because what we're saying is the truth. The truth of the matter is that the Israelites were under the covenant, and because they're under the covenant, they were the ones that was given for salvation. Okay? That's how it goes, man. Like, any other nation can't get a whiff of the salvation. Or none of it at all. Because it was only given to these people. Alright? You're going, brother.
No, it's not that.
You get the scripture where it says to sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is true. That's in John 7 and I believe it's John 7 and 7. Did somebody get that? You can take your time. I'll be patient. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. You cannot use the scripture to back your premise or back your claim, because the claim cannot be backed by scripture. All right, but see, we can back what we're saying all day, all along, not just all day, but every other day, showing you how we can back our claim. Because why the Bible, what we're teaching, right, and what's coming out of our mouths is what concerns the Bible. The Christians don't speak about things that concern the Bible because they believe in tradition. Okay? They believe in the tradition, and the tradition is not backed up by the Bible. The doctrine that they're coming up with, it's not in unison with the scriptures. So this is why they will talk over what the scriptures are saying, because they don't really know the scriptures.
John 17.
Yeah, John 17 and 17. Yeah.
Right, John 17 and 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth.
Right, and that's what it is right there. That's the only thing. So this Bible is the truth, man. As long as you're breaking it down correct, all you're gonna bring out is the truth. And when one brings out the complete, unfiltered truth, no one outside of that can deconstruct that. Okay? So the truth of the matter is going back to Acts the 10th chapter on how he was a devout man and etc., etc. Matter of fact, let's go into it, man.
I'll start from verse 2.
Yeah, we can let go.
Right, Acts 10 and 2. A devout man, and one that feared Yahweh with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to Yahweh always.
Right, and he always prayed to the Lord. He was diligent in prayer. That's an Israelite trait. That's something that an Edomite could do. Okay, it's not in their spirit. Go on.
He saw, verse 3, he saw in a vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day an angel of Yahweh.
So wait a minute, he had a vision, brother, right? Go on.
He saw a vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of Yahweh coming into him.
Okay.
And saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he, verse 4, and when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, what is it, Lord?
Right.
And he said unto him, thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before Yahweh.
So that's number 2. So number 1, the angel of the Most High appeared before him, and this is Cornelius. And then at the same time, he made his prayers, and his prayers became a memorial. In other words, the Lord remembered his prayers. Okay, and won't forget his prayers. So that shows you right there that Cornelius, he was one of the elect, even at that time, and he's probably back here right now. He's probably in the camp somewhere. We don't know who he is, but he's in the truth. Go on.
Verse 5. And now send men to Joppa, and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter.
Right, so then that's number 3, Peter. Because Peter was a man of the Lord. So not only did you have an angel of the Lord come before him, but you also had a man of the Lord such as Peter that came in the midst of him. And also, his prayers were remembered forever. So that's 3 things right there showing you that he's an Israelite. All right? Get me Joel. Somebody get Joel the 2nd chapter. I believe it's 2 and 25. Because see, if you're going to say that Cornelius wasn't an Edomite, that means Esau can be saved then. that means any old Edomite, if they believe in this, they can be saved. That's what you're saying. You know, I'll tell you what, brother, you get it.
Got it?
Huh? If you got it, you know,
John 2:27.
you know, I think it's 2:27. Yeah. Where it says, I'm in the midst of Israel. I'm the Lord, your power.
That's from John. Oh yes, I like it.
Yeah.
The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel,
Right.
and that I am Yahweh, your power.
So wait a minute, he was in the midst of Cornelius. So what would that make Cornelius? An Israelite. Because number one, he had a vision. Okay, the angel of the Most High appeared before him. And then he had Peter, which was a man of the Lord that was sent before him, and his prayers were remembered. So those are the three things right there that pretty much solidifies and validates the point that he would have to be an Israelite. Okay, so for full count, for him to say, oh, well, it's quite obvious that, you know, he was an actual Gentile, you're wrong on that. Now, he was a Gentile in a way where he didn't realize he was an Israelite. He was a Gentile in that fashion. But guess what? He was an Israelite. And he's still an Israelite right now. All right? That's pretty much the deal, and that's how you gain understanding of his precepts. All right, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's how you gain the understanding of these scriptures. So I'll tell you what, brother, get me Isaiah 28 and 9. You know, that's how it's done. You have to go precept upon precept, not doing a 2-hour show trying to rebuttal what we're saying, because you're not going to rebuttal anything. Go on, brother.
Isaiah 28 and 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Right.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Okay.
For precept, verse 10, for precept must be upon precept.
Come on.
Precept upon precept.
Come on.
Line upon line upon line.
Yep.
Here a little and there a little.
And that's how you understand it. Because if you just read it like a novel book, you're not going to gain no understanding of the Bible. Many have tried, but many have failed. Hey, man, so, you know, we've tried to understand the scriptures, and the Lord was with us, and we understand it now. Why? Because we're the select few of men that are supposed to understand it. Okay, and we're reading it the right way. You got some, right? All right, go on.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart,
Right.
and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right, and that's what these Christians always do. They always lean onto their own understanding. And I'm talking about whole Cap Malone and them guys, man. They're trying to find a way or loophole in terms of them being saved. Look, you're not going to be saved, man. If you're not on the side here, or if you're online, don't go back to these people on the side, you might as well just call it a day, man. Case closed. Okay? Case strictly closed, mate. So there's no finding out. You can, hey, man, you can jump over garden roads. You know, you can do front flips, back flips. Go all kind of ways with it and try to find your way in. You're not gonna get in there. If it's not set up for you to be saved, you're not gonna be saved, man. Alright, go on.
Right, I'll start at verse 5 again. It says, this is Acts 10 and 5, it says, and now send men to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter.
Yeah.
He lodgeth with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside.
Yeah.
He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do.
Okay.
And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants, and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually.
Right, they waited on Peter, right? Go on.
And verse 8, and when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa.
Yeah.
On the morrow, verse 9, on the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city,
Yep.
Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour.
Okay, go on.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten.
Right.
But while they made ready, he fell into a trance,
Right.
and saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him,
Yep.
as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners, and let down to the earth.
Okay, go on.
Verse 12, wherein were all the manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and the wild beasts, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Right, because see, the Lord was playing with him. Because if you notice, he was hungry, right? So then there was a vision that Peter was dealing with. There was a vision that he saw while in the midst of his hungerness. So there was a voice that came unto him and said, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. So Peter didn't understand. Peter thought that the Lord was saying, look, you could eat anything you see. But it was metaphorical. What he was really saying is, look, I'm going to send you. You're going to be amongst these men that are going to be in a Gentile state of mind or fashion as they lost their way. Okay, and really, that's really the breakdown of it. That's the figurative or metaphorical breakdown of that. Okay, it wasn't actually talking about him actually eating foul creatures that the law prohibits. Okay, it was talking about men that was in a Gentile state of mind. Israelite men. Go on, brother. And it's going to explain it when you read it.
Right, verse 13. No, verse 14. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
Right.
Verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What Yahweh hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
Yep.
This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven.
Okay.
Verse 17. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean,
You're going.
behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made an inquiry for Simon's house,
Right.
and stood before the gate.
Right. Those were the Gentiles that was along with Cornelius. So they were inquiring of Peter, and that's what it was talking about. So it wasn't actually talking about food, or not. I wouldn't use the term. I wouldn't use that word food, but I would even say it wasn't talking about actual foul. Four-footed beasts or other beasts that the law prohibits you to eat. It wasn't talking about that. It was talking about men that was inquiring of him to pray with him. Go on, brother. Along with Cornelius.
Verse 18. And called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him,
Yeah, brother. You go further back here.
Behold, 3 men seek thee. Verse 20. Arise therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them.
Yeah, for I have sent them. So these were men, or Gentile men, or Israelite men that were in the Gentile fashion, that lost who they are completely. Okay? The Lord sent these men to Peter. If I'm correct, brother. Go on.
Now verse 21. Then Peter went down to the men, which were sent unto him from Cornelius,
Right.
and said, Behold, I am he who ye seek.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is the cause wherefore ye are come?
Right.
Verse 22. And they said, Cornelius, the centurion, just a man, and one that feareth Yahweh,
Exactly.
and of good report among the nation of the Jews,
Yep.
was warned from Yahweh
Right.
by an holy angel to send for thee
Right.
into his house,
Right.
and to hear words of thee.
Exactly. So the Lord sent Peter, okay, to meet Cornelius. All right. So that's why he had that vision there, because he was sent to go there with Cornelius, because Cornelius was a potential man of the Lord. Okay, and really he was a man of the Lord, not potential, but he was a man of the Lord, because if that wasn't the case, then Peter wouldn't have to be sent down to him. So in order for you to be a man of the Lord, you would have to automatically be an Israelite. There's no way about it. Okay, because the Lord is not a liar. The Lord never said, well, I'm in the midst of Israel, but then I'm going to go do an actual person that's coming from a different nation. No. That means the Lord is two-tongued. He says one thing, but then he'll do another thing. No. Get Numbers 23, verse 19. Yeah, you're going.
Verse 23. Then called he them in and lodged them. And on the morrow Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him.
I'll tell you what, brother, you get that. Get Numbers 23 and 19. Because the Lord is not a man that he should lie. The Lord said a thing or two, he's going to fulfill what he said. He's not going to say one thing and then do another.